Hi everyone. In this video we are going to solve some problems on magnetohydrodynamics. This will be the last topic in this module. So first problem is we are going to prove normal component of dielectric field D in two mediums are equal. So we are going to consider two mediums. So we are going to prove in those two mediums dielectric field D is equal, or we are going to prove D is continuous. This what we are going to prove. So we are going to consider two regions. So we are considering disk enclosing the path from one surface to other surface between the mediums. So we are having two mediums. So this will be medium. This is one medium. This is another medium. So I'll take it as medium 1 and medium 2. So we are having two mediums. We are going to consider a disk D enclosing this path of boundary surface. This surface between these two mediums and whose axis is normal. So we are considering our axis also. It is normal to this medium also, this medium also to the boundary. So we are going to consider a disk so this is our path and it is normal to the flow, and in medium 1 its permittivity is epsilon 1, in medium 2 its permittivity is epsilon 2, and here dielectric field is normal to this surface D1 and here it is D2. Vertically outside, right? So we are considering epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 or permittivity of medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. This thickness of the disk is assumed to be very small. So this thickness is very small such that the only contribution to the outward flow which is flowing outside from the disk comes from the flat surface. Only from the flat surface the flow exists. So we are considering two mediums, medium 1 and medium 2. In medium 1 we are having permittivity as epsilon 1 and in medium 2 we are having permittivity as epsilon 2, and we are considering a disk D whose thickness is very small and only contribution to the outward flow from this outward flow is only from the disk comes from its flat surface. So other than that, there does not exist any outward flows. So with this, so we have to find the relation for D1 and D2, or we have to prove D1 and D2. Correct? So what is our relation for D? From Gauss law, we have del dot D is equal to rho E. So for total volume enclosed between the surface, we have to integrate over V. Del dot D of dV is equal to, so from Gauss law we have del dot D is equal to rho E. So for total volume integration over V on both sides. Here rho E is density of free charges. Density of charges. If there is no charges on the surface, if there does not exist any charges, then rho E will be 0, right? So we have mentioned that only contribution of the outward from the disk comes from its flat surface. Suppose density of charge is 0, or if there is no charges on the surface, then rho e is 0. Therefore, integral over dv del dot d is equal to 0. So from Gauss divergence theorem, we are going to change volume integral into surface integral. So that is surface of d1 ds1. So for d1 in medium 1 with surface, and this is with respect to en1 cap. It is with respect to this unit vector en1 cap plus d2 en2 ds equal to 0. I am changing volume integral to surface integral using Gauss divergence theorem, and here I am considering for first medium and second medium. Here d1 and d2 are values of d in two mediums. d1 in medium 1, d2 is in medium 2. Similarly, en1 is unit vector of first medium and en2 is unit vector on second medium. See, when we see here, d1 is in this direction, d2 is in another direction. d1 and d2 are in opposite directions. So en1 cap is unit vector for d1, en2 is unit vector for d2. Therefore, en1 cap and en2 cap are opposite in directions. Therefore, this can be written as d1 minus d2 because en2 is minus. See, en1 is equal to en. If en1 is en, then en2 is minus en1. That is minus en. This two are opposite in direction but same equal in magnitude. Therefore, en1 cap is minus en1 cap itself. So, I am writing d1 minus d2 is equal to en cap ds. So, since surface is arbitrary, we have d1 minus d2 is equal to 0, or d1 en1 cap is equal to d2 en2 cap, or this is nothing but en cap. So, the normal component of d in two medium, that is in medium 1 and medium 2 are equal. So, that is we have proved that d is continuous. So, first we are considering two mediums. Here it is enclosed with a disc of very small thickness, and epsilon 1 is permittivity of medium 1 and epsilon 2 is permittivity of medium 2. Dielectric force is acting in this direction for medium 2, and this I can write it as d2 and d1. This is for medium 2 and medium 1. One and the same. These two are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So we have del dot D is equal to rho E, which gives the relation for dielectric field. I am taking for total volume. Suppose if there is no charge, density of charge is 0. I am changing volume integral to surface integral using Gauss divergence theorem. This is for two surface d1 and d2. This en1 cap and en2 cap unit vectors in medium 1 and medium 2 are opposite in direction. Therefore, it has become en minus en. So, I have taken en common. Since surface is arbitrary, we are having d1 minus d2 equal to 0. This implies d1 is equal to d2. Therefore, the normal component of d in two mediums are equal. This proves D is continuous. Now we are going to prove tangential component of electric field E in two mediums are equal. So we are considering two mediums. I'll take this as medium 1, medium 2. So in this two mediums, we are going to prove tangential component of electric field E are equal. That is, we are going to prove E is continuous along the boundary. So we are going to consider a rectangular path. This is our see, this is A, B, C and D. We are going to consider rectangular path AB, CD. So since it is rectangular path, we have, this is our electric field. We have AB is equal to CD. Length of AB is equal to length of CD. Similarly, length of AD is equal to length of BC. This AB is equal to AC. I am taking it as some length DL. And it is parallel to the surface. AB and CD are parallel to the surface. And I am considering BC and AD. BC and AD. I am taking it as some value dt, and this is perpendicular to the surface. AB and AC is along the surface and AD and BC are perpendicular to the surface. Now we are having E1 electric field in medium 1 and E2 electric field in medium 2. We are considering electric field in medium 1 as E1 and we are considering electric field in medium 2 as E2. And AB is DL and AD is DT. Now we are going to consider a rectangular path on the boundary of medium 1 and medium 2. So already we have proved del dot E is equal to 0. That is, electric field is conservative. It means no net work done is taken by a unit charge around the path, right? There won't be any charges around this path. All the energies will be inside that region. So we have closed region A, B, C, D, A, right? This is our closed path A, B, C, D, A. Within the closed path, E dot dl is equal to 0. So when we split the path AB plus BC plus CD plus AD, we have, so since we are taking DL here, take some other term, D capital. This can be written as split the terms along AB. So along AB distance is DL, therefore E dot DL plus BC E dot dt along BC and AD it is dt. Along AB and CD it is dl. So split the integral plus E of BC CD. Along CD again it is dl plus dA. E is dt. So the integral I am splitting along the length of each boundaries AB, BC, CD and DA. Suppose AD and BC, that is perpendicular to the surface, is very small. Then AD or DA and BC. If these two values are very small, then we can neglect this 2. This will reduce to integral of a to b. AB is nothing but integral between a to b. Integral between a to b. Integral between a to b is E1, because see, in medium 1 electric field is E1, in medium 2 electric field is E2, and we have considered the perpendicular distance is very small, therefore this 2 integral vanishes. Integral between E1 dl plus integration of CD E2 dl equal to 0. So this is E1 is electric field in medium 1 and E2 is electric field in medium 2. And when we notice this electric field E1 and E2 acts in opposite direction, because if this is our axis, here if this acts in this direction perpendicular to this will be acting in another direction. As we see in dielectric charges, E1 and E2 will act in opposite direction. Or when we consider this axis, if we consider a direction, along this one direction E2 exists, means E1 will be existing in opposite direction. Suppose if we consider this direction, this is along E1 and it is opposite to E2. So again E1 and E2 are opposite in direction if we consider the surface of AB or if we consider the surface of CD. Suppose if we consider AB, along AB E1 acts but E2 acts opposite to AB. Similarly, if we consider CD, along CD if E2 acts opposite to the direction E1 will be acting. Also AB is equal to, we have CD. Already we have taken AB is equal to CD. So I'll change this as A to B instead of C and D. Therefore this has become integration between A and B, E1 minus E2 into dl equal to 0. Since length is arbitrary, we have E1 is equal to E2. Therefore, from this we will conclude that electric field is continuous across the boundaries.